but it's the sweet haggis. It's an actual, can you see it's a haggis?
Yeah.
And we're going to cook it on a gridiron over the coals. And we'll have a little bit with our mutton. We're not going to, it's a sweet thing, but we're going to have it with the mutton, which was traditional because that's what they did when they had some left over.
So is this made in Cumbria?
This was made here in this house. It was made at the weekend. I ran a Christmas course and I taught the people in it how to make it. How many people who makes it? But it's really the mother of all Christmas puddings, really, because the earliest record is from about 1650. It's the first pudding that's ever mentioned with a connection to Christmas.
So what does it have in it?
It's got oatmeal, suet, currants, apples, spices. It should have some meat in it. This one doesn't have meat in it. Some of them have like a bit of mutton chopped up in it, but this one doesn't. It's more like it's not a vegetarian one. Yeah. It's got suet in it. And I'm going to cut it up and put it on the gridiron for a few minutes just to warm it through. And you'll have it with the oldest one is this thing in the middle here, which is called it's called a trotter tart. It doesn't sound very exciting, does it? Or a trotter,
a trotter tart.
Pie, a trotter tart. There's a local company called Trotter who are sort of.
What they do?
So this is like a pie that's like a landfill site. but it's actually, funny enough, I had an American friend who used to make a wine which she used to call garbage wine. And all of the things like the tea bags, potato peelings, and apple cores, she would actually ferment them and make them into wine. Garbage wine actually some years was quite good actually.
Some years.
Yeah. And it was better than sometimes in Rumpol's Chateau Thames embankment. Anyway, the trotter tart actually is a quince tart.
Oh, fabulous.
And it's made with quinces and a little bit of preserved orange in it as well. And sugar, and that's about it.
Where's the quinces come from?
Those ones are from somewhere near Kendal. There's a tree down there.
Okay.
I've had them from Sue a few years,
Yes.
But they're Cumbrian quinces, and they're very good ones too. They've got much better flavour than the Spanish ones, I think. Just a little bit.
Something we know in Thursby, who's got a fabulous tree.
Yeah. They grow very well around here. I mean, I'm surprised that people don't grow them, a bit more frequently.
I think it takes so long to cook as well, doesn't it, that people perhaps don't...
Yeah, it's not like an apple, you can eat it instantly. So what we've got here, though, is a Christmas pudding, and this is how Victorians love their Christmas puddings, made in mould. So if you look on the top there, you can see sort of various moulds. Sometimes the pudding moulds were such that they would have a little thing that you could sit in the saucepan. You see on the bottom, it's like a little stand. These are also designed to make ices, but they used to make, it means you can screw that off afterwards and it's much easier to get out. This one was made not in one of these, so it's difficult to get out, but you get them out eventually.
Usually it's come out beautifully.
Yeah, that's a classic shape as well. That's there is actually a wonderful drawing in the British Museum of a young woman with a Christmas pudding with holly on the top, made from that very mould. I could probably find it on my computer and show it to you. It's actually made from that mould. It's an artist's sketch of somebody coming in with a Christmas pudding. It's made from that very mould. Whoops. Yeah.
What are they made with?
Tin.
Right.
Okay. And this is very posh. This is from a man called Charles Elme Francatelli, who was Queen Victoria's cook. And this is a 1840s ice cream Christmas cake. It's actually a chestnut ice cream with candy. But all of the peel in it is boiled in syrup and then in maraschino, so it's very, very posh. But we let that get a bit colder because it will be difficult to repeat it. So what we've got to do is I need someone who can strike a match. Someone strike a match because we're going to...
Helen, Joffrey. Oh! They're warm.
I've got a little jug of brandy here. I'll put it a little bit on the pudding. It should just warm through. And then what we'll do, if you can light it out...
You need, isn't it? Sorry.
And we can put the lights out, actually.
Paul?
Not from the CAA cabin stuff, are you?
Go on.
They're going on strike.
Oh, look at
That's Christmas colour.
That's a real Christmas pudding. Actually, it's a bit difficult pouring the brandy out in the dark. I've never had to do it in the dark.
Oh!
Excuse me while I burn this lovely farmhouse down.
You know, you can pour that on your head, it won't burn you. I mean, that's why it's called the water of life. Gnostics used to have a baptism of fire, where they actually used to baptise their babies with hot spirit.
Oh, no.
And that's like 3 puddings.
Well, that was just because I thought it might be interesting. It's Christmas.
So a mid-Victorian Cumbrian meal would have how many courses ordinarily?
Well, it might just be a pig in a podish in the middle of the table. That's it, you know.
Rest of pottage.
Yeah, a great big, bowl of porridge, basically, or crowdy. You know, in a farm family, they would eat very simply. You wouldn't want to eat a lot of the food that was eaten in us in this region, because it was very basic. I mean, crowdy was mutton broth with oatmeal added to it. It looks like wallpaper.
Crowdy. I've heard of cat loud.
And then you eat it with cardboard. You eat it with, pepper cake.
Wow.
This is why some of these dishes are extinct. People got fed up with them.
Please give me a
for
break.
you, it's a novelty to eat a cupcake, but on a day-to-day basis, you could understand why they crave white wheaten bread. If you're just eating cardboard every day, white bread would be a great treat. For us, it's the other way around, isn't it? You have something like that, and it's such a novelty, And this, of course, is aristocratic food. I mean, this is Queen Victoria herself. But you'll notice how many things have got. The soup had currants in it.
Yes, quite.
Your pudding, of course, had. And this has too. And the hacking, of course.
Where would the currents of Victorian times have come
The same place they come from, the Chapelle, They came from, the currants came from Greece, from Corinth, which is what gives them the name.
There you are, there's something I did not know.
And the
Currants,
raisins
raisins.
came all over the Mediterranean, particularly from Spain,
Right, so currants come from Corinth.
In Greek, a currant is called a Corinthaki, little Corinth. Corinth. Say it 1,000 times, you end up with the word current.
Oh, yes, sir. It's like they try to say that damson comes from Damascus.
Well, it is a Damascene plum, is it? If you look in early English cookery texts, they're called Damasenes, Damascus plums. But whether they come from Damascus or not is highly disputed, But and then they come all the way from Damascus to the Lythe Valley, But they grow very well here in our climate. They're quite hardy.
I suppose that anybody can carry one in their pocket.
Yeah, it's not even easy to stow, isn't it?
They found an Iceman in the Alps, didn't they? He had damsons in his pocket.
It's probably from T-Bane then.
Was that